Hey, I'm Briar. I'm currently training for the Crusader Series Individual Competition up in Christchurch this September. I'm here today at CrossFit Primed. This is my other training facility other than Compound. Come here and train with a whole bunch of friends and get amongst it, and then when I can't make a class, you'll find me at Compound. So I got into CrossFit at the ripe age of 14. My older brother, he started it through high school, and there wasn't many things that my older brother gave a go that I didn't follow him along to. So yeah, I followed him along to CrossFit back then and stuck to it ever since. Yeah, today's training session we're going to be hitting some semi-decent front squats, and then the workout is rope climbs and deficit push-ups. Rope climbs are something that I had to build some confidence back on after a pretty gnarly injury back in the day. Came down off the rope a bit too confident and busted the ankle. So for a while there I was pretty scared of getting up high. Don't seem to mind it too much anymore, but it's these intricate wee movements that we do in CrossFit that you can't let stump you on competition day, so it's cool to just chuck them in every now and then. My very first sessions, I hated anything cardio based. I was definitely a wee wad picker when it came to anything with running. Didn't do it. I love lifting weights and yeah, just testing like new personal bests all the time at that age, and when you're new to the sport, PBs are coming left, right and centre. The confidence you can get from throwing a large amount of weight above your head is pretty cool, but it definitely, after that period of just lifting, I think I learned the importance of the diversity in my training and how much I enjoy doing different things, and definitely made me realise that avoiding cardio wasn't going to be the long-term solution, and so came back into CrossFit and decided to put on some running shoes. I missed it like crazy last year. I missed competing and just getting amongst it with my friends. I've always been a fairly competitive person, and just kind of feeling like I was missing out a wee bit last year. Definitely lit a bit of a fire to come back. I started with a trio comp earlier this year. Same gym, same competition as the one I'm training for at the moment, Crusader Series, but a trio. That was a really cool opportunity to dip my toes back in the water, but with like a little bit of a social aspect and not so serious, friends, and just come back to it. Something my 14-year-old self wouldn't believe now is probably the running. Yeah, last year I really kind of stepped into the space of running and started to really love it. I think with the shift work that I do, trying to make my training work around those time schedules and stuff can be really hard. So being able to just go out on my own at whatever time, weather dependent, because we live in Dunedin, and get out for a trot has been really cool and really beneficial for me. I also have a very high energy Vizsla who loves a run, so that's a good motivator. But yeah, a few months ago I ran a sub 140 half marathon, so that's one thing that my 14-year-old self wouldn't believe.
What made you hit enter on signing up for the Crusader Series?
I really enjoyed the trio comp we did up there earlier this year. So it's at +64 Fitness up in Christchurch, and just the space and the atmosphere was really cool. And then for this comp there was online qualifiers, and a good bunch of people primed here were doing it. And I think it was a very last minute decision for me to jump in and give it a go. But I think, yeah, I mean, I'd have some real FOMO if I hadn't have given it a go and been going away with a bunch of the guys in a couple months, so I'm glad I did. In no way did I think I was going to win. My goal was to qualify, but there was kind of enough in the category that it looked like we'd all kind of be going. I remember looking at the scoreboard after the final submissions, because everyone hides their scores until that last minute, and kind of not really believing I was sitting up the top. With the way CrossFit is ranked in those sort of competitions, its lowest points is at the top, and so I managed to be consistently in the top 5 for a while, and keep my numbers low, so consistently average takes the top. Yeah, as you said, a bit of disbelief. I think I was on a night shift and driving around South Dunedin probably, and just checked my phone and had a scroll through. Yeah, a little bit of nerves. I mean, going up there with that placing from qualifiers puts a little bit of pressure from myself on myself, but yeah, should be fun.
Has the result changed how you're approaching the final?
Yeah, I think I've decided to lock in a bit more training since then, hone in on a few skills that probably need a bit more work than others, just so I can go in with a bit more confidence. I think it kind of proved that it is really important to train everything, and so that you're not lacking in a certain area. Obviously, some things are going to be better than others, and you're going to, peak in other areas. But yeah, and being able to just have a level of confidence in each workout. Obviously, some are going to be more me than others. That was one reflection on it, and yeah, just maybe focus a bit more on some gymnastic stuff. I think I actually went in with a pretty casual mindset for it. But as I said, always been a very competitive person, so casual but competitive. Yeah, and yeah, just pretty surprised and stoked with the result from it. I definitely have been focusing a lot more on muscle up progressions. I think for qualifiers, that was one thing that probably stumped me a little bit. Not hugely confident, and it's one of those things that I have good days and bad days, so just working on making them all good days.
Has there been a shift in how you're planning sessions or what you're prioritising?
I try to fit everything in, and I try to do it all. I'm here probably 5 days a week, and when I can't make it here due to a shift or something, I'll try get the session that's programmed here done at compound. How am I balancing it all? It's probably not the healthiest balance. I don't tend to stop. My days are pretty full, but I'm a sucker for a list and a to-do list. So yeah, it's writing everything down. I work in a 10-day roster, so my training schedule is based off 10 days. So writing down everything I want to achieve in that 10 days and kind of breaking it up and figuring out what I can achieve on what day, depending on whether I'm sleeping during the day, coming off a night shift, or yeah, doing a big early shift throughout the day. Non-negotiable for me, I'll always train before work. I think getting in some movement for me and training and just clearing the head really before starting a shift is really important. For me, that looks like sometimes being at compound at 4:45 in the morning before a 6:30 shift, but it also means that I can go home straight after work and go rot on the couch. So that's definitely a non-negotiable, just getting up and getting the body moving before kicking into a day's work. My community is really important to my training. This is why I think I've always loved CrossFit, is you're never really training alone. Obviously sometimes I have to get a session done solo, but I come to these classes so I can be with my friends, and they can push me to work harder and race them to the finish line. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hoping for a wee run in there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going for a wee trot. And dreading, haven't dwelled on that one too much, but I'm sure I will in the coming days.
What will separate a solid performance from a standout one?
I'd love to hit a heavy lift and maybe even a PB on competition day. That always makes the day a good one.
Thanks for watching the video. New videos are out every Wednesday. Click here to watch last week's video, and click here to subscribe now.